Justin with Lucky8 Off-Road, and today I'm going to show you how to install our double Roto Pack or jerry can or MOLLE panel, whatever you need it to be, side panel kit. This will also work for the single, you just won't do the other half of it. So this is what the base unit looks like. Be careful. This is going to go on the truck right here. It's going to grab the roof rails, and then you can mount whatever else you need to it. I'm going to go step by step for you and show you how to get this installed. Okay, first up, depending on what truck you have, you're going to be drilling in different places. Hey, Justin from the future, getting measurements. I searched all over and they seem to vary depending on what Roto Pack type equipment you're gonna put on the car, but the bolt holes on the vehicle are generally all the same. This is a driver's side, left-hand side trim. You'll notice it's got the rubber on the top, and the measurement is 4 inches to the center of the first hole and 11.5 to the center of the second hole. Double checking my work here, yep. And passenger side, which would be the right-hand side, again, 4 inches and 11.5. This is where the door would be on the passenger side if I was looking at it. That's where I drill the holes. Double check your own car. And back to the install. If you want to pull the ditch finisher off after you've marked it to make it easier on yourself so you're not drooling into the truck, I use a little body tool, little plastic. Basically, it's just a plastic piece of, what is this called? Come on, somebody, you know what I mean. There you go. And you want to pop up the, still can't remember think of what this is called. You get back here, and you can get these little clips free. Note that this has got an aluminum in it, so if you rip on it, it's gonna bend and look ugly. And underneath this MOLLE panel, or ditch finisher, it's gonna be some black plastic tape over the main holes. This truck's been through the ringer. We've done a lot with it already, and I've popped open the plastic. And that's going to be our 2 mounting holes. And we're going to mark our ditch finisher and drill a 3/4 inch hole. Once you have your holes drilled, remember you measured. I like to just test these before I go to the next step. Make sure the bolt goes in smoothly, there's nothing in the way, and make sure that my spacer fits, there's no interference. If you need to massage the holes a little bit, that's totally normal. These things float up and down, so have at it. Once we have these in place, we know they fit. I'm gonna snap the ditch finisher back in place. We're gonna move to the roof, and we're almost there. Okay, up here on the roof, you can have 2 of these aluminum track bracket spacer adapter thingamabobs. You go about yay. We're gonna get those in, and what'll happen next is you'll set the metal plate up top. If you've got a friend, it makes it a lot easier. And then you get a couple of the Allen started to take the weight off, and then we can do the lower portion. But before we can get to that, we got one more step. Next up is installing whatever mounting equipment you need. If you're using Roto Packs, then the Roto Pack mount, it's got 2 holes here, bang, 2 holes there. Run the hardware in, super easy. If you're using this for something completely different, then this is probably the time to drill your holes and figure out how you're going to mount stuff. The harder of the 2 installs is the jerry can straps. So you're gonna take this longer strap, take a 3/8 Allen head bolt with a washer, put that through the center. We're gonna bring this through the back, align it like so. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can balance this. I'm gonna grab my coupling, tighten that down, right? Get that in place, finger tight, don't reef it yet because you're gonna need to wiggle this a little bit to get the other bolts in. Next up, another Allen head bolt, but this time we're gonna go through the front. Can't see which one it is. Okay, there you go. 3/8 bolts and washer. Go on the back side. And the same thing here, 3/8. Now there's two different size washers. The bigger washer is for later on. We're gonna use all the standard size. All right, everything's in place. Gonna wanna tighten all three down and then we'll move to getting this on the car. Getting this up to the roof, I highly, 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 highly recommend two people. You're gonna wanna get out of the hardware kit 2 8mm socket head bolts. We're gonna put them one on each side to help take the weight off. Other thing, I leave the Allens here, the socket head bolts on the side of the car in place. It'll help keep this bracket from hitting the side and scuffing the paint. So, like I said, you're gonna wanna do this with a friend. I've done this a bunch of times, over 100. So I feel confident I'm gonna be able to get it done. Maybe not that confident, I can't even hold the hardware. Hyperspeed. With two of the Allens installed into the track slides, I kind of wiggle this in place where it's going to line up with the other support bolts. Go. I'm going to go up there, put the other two in, and then we're going to work on the bottom. All right, I got my washers in place, my bolts started, still leaving it loose, and I've got the little bumper here. That goes on the end. What that does is it keeps pressure on the RotoPax mount or utility mount, so it doesn't give you any vibration. Send that through with its washer and tighten it up. That's it. I'm gonna go through, tighten that down, tighten everything down, get everything else in place. And then I'll show you guys, if you're using the fuel cans, how to finish that up. If you're not using the fuel cans, then the job's done. Good on you. And if you're doing a single mount, then all you had to deal with was one upper bracket and these bolts here, RotoPax mount. So good on you guys. For the rest of us, you're gonna have to wait while I tighten everything down and move on to the jerry cans. Everything's tight now. You should only have a little bit of hardware left. The threaded rod with a standard nut. We're going to want to put that in the center. You'll adjust this depending on the type of jerry can you have. You might need to run it in all the way or leave a little bit of slack on it. That leaves us with the tightened down wing nut and the washer. So I'm going to guesstimate that's where we need to be. We're gonna set some, I think you got water cans down here. We'll set some water cans in. I'll show you how the two straps go on, and then we'll put the wing nut on. If you have help, it's a great time, but it'll be funny to watch me try to balance everything there. This is how the side pieces go on. Once the jerry can's in place, we're gonna go around it, slide over the center. Let's see if I can do this by myself. That's where the larger washer goes. Bingo, all set. Well, there you have it. I tighten this down as tight as I can get it. And then we always recommend running a zip tie or two over it just to make sure there's no vibration issues. If you're using the water cans, obviously you want the nozzles out. That's pretty much it. If you have help, it makes it a lot easier, but you saw I could do it, and sometimes even with one hand. So there you have it, guys. And on that note, I'll see you on the next one.